What's up, everybody? It's Frank here for Yogomi, and this is a new series that I'm starting called the Weekly Catch-Up. I get tons of emails and press releases for a lot of new games, especially from indie studios, which I'm a big fan of. So I thought, you know what? It'd be a great idea to do a weekly gaming catch-up news series where I talk about these games and share with you some of the games that are coming out, or maybe there's some new additions or new content for even existing games that are coming out. Every once in a while, I will discuss some major studio news, but mostly I'm going to focus on indie games because there's a lot of really great stuff out there. As you guys know, I go to PAX West, PAX East every year, and every year I am impressed every single time by all the indie games that I see from a lot of these studios. And after I leave PAX West, a lot of them contact me and send me a lot of their assets and updates, and even sometimes even some of their games. So I thought it'd be a really good idea to start a weekly news video where I talk about a lot of the new stuff that comes out every week, because like I said, every week I get something new or hear about something new, and most of the stuff I'm really impressed by. Now, when it comes to major studios, my main games are Destiny 2 and Forza Horizon. I love both of those games very much. I play them quite a bit. There's also other major games that I do play. Some of you know that Destiny 2 just started a new season called Season of the Deep. I've been playing that so far. One of the things that I noticed is they didn't raise the power cap. So it's going to stay the same as last season, which is, I don't know, it's kind of good because I didn't really get my Warlock built up. But I have been playing quite a bit and really kind of enjoying the new season. They brought back Titan. Sort of. Titan seems to only be available when you're doing certain activities. It would be nice if they brought back the actual destination, but who knows, maybe it'll show up at some point. They also brought back an older PvP map. Unfortunately, I haven't got a chance to play on it yet. I don't play a lot of PvP, even though I really like PvP. And one of the things I noticed about Destiny 2 is that when you step away from PvP, if you just play, for example, Iron Banner, when Iron Banner comes around, it doesn't take long for the meta to change. You step away from PvP, and then you come back, I don't know, weeks, months later, and the next thing you know, you're getting mapped by some tiny itty-bitty weapon or some weird weapon that pops up in trials or something from a dungeon or a raid. It's really extremely frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you. I really love PvP and I wish I was better at PvP. I'm not. You can get on Destiny Tracker and look at my stats. They're not great, but I still really love playing. Every once in a while, I'll get a really good game when I've got some insane score, and then I'll end up in a party with some friends that are much better than I am, and you know, the challenges change, and I don't know. There's just a lot of weird stuff that's happening in PvP, and even some things that I see happening in PvE that kind of make me wonder what's going on with Bungie. But Bungie did show a new trailer for actually an old game called Marathon. If you know anything about Marathon, it was pretty much the precursor to Halo. As a matter of fact, all throughout Halo, there are little remnants and tributes to the game Marathon. Now, I actually used to play Marathon back in the day. I played it on my Mac in the 90s, and it was actually a really fun game. It's probably the first computer game that I played consistently, and I really, really, really enjoyed playing it. It was a very, very cool game, and so when Halo came out, I was just so impressed and just so in love with the game Marathon that Halo was just an easy game to take up to start playing. And I've been a fan of Bungie ever since. Now, I kind of had an idea that this was going to happen. I had heard rumors that Bungie was working on a new game, and then I heard other rumors that that game was Marathon and they were bringing it back. And honestly, Marathon is a really great game, at least from what I can remember. We're talking over 25 years ago that I played this game. And even back then, the whole point of the story, the plot, everything, I was just completely immersed in it. So I think now is a great time to bring something back like that, especially now that Bungie has learned a lot from releasing Halo and Destiny. I think applying what they've learned from these games to this game could make it actually pretty amazing. I'm planning on making content around this game. I've been looking for a game that I can kind of focus on and make content to put up on the channel, and I think this may be my game. Now, another major release that's come out from Nintendo is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Unfortunately, I never finished Breath of the Wild, so I've decided to go back and play Breath of the Wild. I'm going to finish that before I play Tears of the Kingdom. It's the only right thing to do. I mean, I never really start a game unless I finish the first one. And from what I understand, you don't really need to play Breath of the Wild, but I do want to finish it because I just got so busy with a lot of other things and other games that I just never finished Breath of the Wild. But another game that I really like to play is Gunfire Reborn. I don't know if you've seen this game. It's a roguelike game where you choose these characters and you go through these dungeons and dungeons and dungeons. And I beat the game, but it's one of these games I just really keep going back to. It's on Xbox right now. If you get a chance, just check it out. Gunfire Reborn, it's a first-person shooter. It's very interesting. It's a game I didn't think that I was really gonna like, but I do every once in a while go back to that and end up playing it for hours and hours and hours. Now to talk about some new games that are gonna be coming out pretty soon or have come out. There's a new game called Dicefolk. Dicefolk is about extraordinary beings known as Dicefolk who possess the incredible ability to bring forth powerful creatures called chimeras from their mystical grimoires. And some of these chimeras have gone rogue and they cause chaos and mayhem, and the Dicefolk, which you play as, they're armed with dice-shaped artifacts that can command these chimeras, and the responsibility falls on you to restore the peace and harmony across the land. The game was created by the studio Good Shepherd Entertainment. They are actually an award-winning independent game publisher based in the Netherlands. They're known for a proven track record of supporting talented development teams and bringing innovative and challenging, and above all, entertaining games to the market. They also have other games like John Wick Hex, Monster Train, Hellboy Web of the Word, Showgunners, Phantom Doctrine, and the Transport Fever series, also the Hard West series. So if you want to know more about them, you can go to www.goodshepherd.com. The studio who developed the game was Leap Studio. Leap Studio is based in Lima, Peru, and this game, Dicefolk, is the latest addition to what is already an impressive portfolio. You can actually go to Steam right now and wishlist Dicefolk. So if you like scary games, Alone in the Dark is making a comeback. Now this game is supposed to be a tribute to the groundbreaking original game that came out, and it's offering like this haunted story experience through the eyes of two protagonists. In the game, you step into the shoes of either Edward Carnby or Emily Hartwood, and this is a reimagining of the classic survival horror game. It's kind of like psychological terror meets the eerie atmosphere of Southern Gothic. The story goes deep into the heart of the 1920s of the American South, where one of the characters, Emily Hartwood's uncle, has vanished without a trace. Now she teams up with a private investigator who is actually Edward Carnby. They go on this journey to this crazy like haunted manor. It's like a foreboding sanctuary for the mentally afflicted, and inside the walls something evil lurks waiting to be discovered. There's encounters with enigmatic residents and nightmarish realms and like dread-inducing monsters, and you have to piece together a puzzle of this growing horror that's pretty much just gonna take over everything. It's like you're in a realm of mystery and reality and madness all converging on one. So it looks pretty good. When the game releases, it will be on PC, Xbox Series S and X, and the PlayStation 5. Another scary game that's coming out in 2023 is called Layers of Fear. I have actually played Layers of Fear before, and I'm kind of a fan of the series. So I may actually be playing this game during the Halloween season. Layers of Fear is the culmination of acclaimed psychological horror franchise, offering like a definitive and immersive way to experience the haunting world crafted by the Bloober team. Now the game is going to actually be taking advantage of the cutting edge technology of Unreal 5, including ray tracing, HDR, and 4K resolution, which kind of sets it up to become one of the most visually stunning horror games on the market. If you're a fan of the Layers of Fear franchise, you're going to see a lot of really cool things in this new game. It's going to have this intriguing blend of like storytelling, but it's through the eyes of three characters. These craft-obsessed protagonists, the painter, the actor, and the writer. Their stories are going to intertwine, and you'll kind of uncover the depth of their obsession and unravel this like gripping storyline that's supposed to keep you on the edge of your seat. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. I think I'm definitely going to play it. And to add a little extra tidbit of news on this, apparently they're collaborating right now with Konami on the remake of Silent Hill 2. This new Layers of Fear game is actually supposed to be released this month, June of 2023. So it's another game that I plan on playing and possibly streaming and reviewing here on the channel. Those are the games for this episode. There's going to be a ton more games coming out, and I'm kind of interested in what you're playing. Just put a comment down below. Let me know what you're playing. I have a lot more games that I couldn't even cover in this video because I don't want to make it too long. But each week I will do this series and talk about a lot of more new games, new additions, new content, and things like that that are coming out. So I appreciate you checking out the video, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.